Oh my gosh, it looks so naked over here. I don't know if I like that. It's been a while since I saw my wall. But anyway, hi, I'm Kristen from the Never Ending TBR in Kristen's Corner. This week was Rapunzel week, and I got to get my handy dandy iPad to remember what I did last week, because I remember most of it. The prompts that I hit were I ate German food. I had brats and sauerkraut. Although I did not take a picture. I did take a picture of my frying pan, and that should not have been such an issue. But with my too much brain, I use like 7 frying pans, and each frying pan does something special for me. Like, I have one that is like pretty much my catch-all for most of my meals, but then there's other ones that I do for other things. So I was going to do like a little skit with all my frying pans, and I was like, yeah. But so I used a frying pan. I wore a tiara. I've been wearing tiaras for this Princess Cruise series. I lit a candle. I bought this over the summer from Trader Joe's. It smells delicious. I went on an adventure. My family and I went to a local lake, which who knew that Southern California had some lakes, but we do. And it reminded me of New York summers past, upstate New York summers. The little bro had a blast. He built a sandcastle. That's all he wanted to do this summer. He didn't want to go anywhere special. He was thinking maybe Legoland. He was thinking maybe SeaWorld, but he didn't want to go on the car ride. So the other thing was he wanted to build a sandcastle. So he got to do that. But it was a beautiful park, and I think when the weather gets better and we're kind of out of fire season, I might go back and do like a little hike or something like that, because it's gorgeous there. Although it doesn't look in some of my pictures because I'm in Southern California. You can see where things are watered and where they're not. Because there are things that are very brown and dying and desert-like, and then there's other stuff that's very green. So anyway, so I did that. I went to a cafe. One of the prompts was go to a cafe or pub. I don't think we have a lot of pubs near me. Where I used to live, there was a bunch. You could just walk to them. But here, they're more diners. They're so that they can serve food and alcohol, which is what I think of a pub. I think of greasy foods and alcohol, but whatever. So I went to, oh my God, what was the name of the place now? I'm messing it up with the other place. Hold on. Little memento. It is TLC. That's cute. Garden Cafe. It was lovely. I got myself afternoon tea. I sat outside. It was a little too hot for being outside, but it was very calming. Like, I had an excellent week, and I think that the prompts helped elevate that week, because it was just, I took a lot of me time and just enjoyed where I was and what I was doing as I was doing it. So, make sure there isn't anything else before I show you my books that I read. Did that. Okay. All right. So, I had a good reading week as well. I'll show you the books. Why do I feel like I read another one? Oops, sorry. I didn't mean to kick you. Gosh. I felt like I read another book. Or like I listened to it. I know I started the Tea and Biscuit book and Nope. Open. Now, does my Goodreads... Oh, good. No. I know. Dead air. Sorry. Talk amongst yourselves. Nope. These are the books. Okay. Fine then. Okay. So, I have 2 that were Rapunzel themed, and I have 2 that were not. I finished the Birthright series with Sock from Bargain Counter Argument. I'll link her in the description. We've been reading almost a book a month, and we decided let's finish it and get to the last one. This one is about Sebastian Gallo and Yelena. I can't remember her last name, but she's part of the Bratva, which is the Russian mafia, and he is the part of, well, he ends up being the heir of the Gallos, which is the Italian mafia in Chicago. And it was really good. I mean, there was a lot that happened in this book and a lot of growth. I was really impressed because there have been other books in the past where her characters just accepted their fate, or it was like, you know, one was basically not being tortured, but they were being locked away and they fell in love with their captor, and it was the Beauty and the Beast retelling, and they were okay with it, and everybody was like, okay, if this is your choice. It just, and then there were people that were killed because of what was going on. It was just, I really did not like that book. This book did a lot better, where the Bratva really, there's been beef with the Bratva and the Italian mob throughout the series, and allegedly before the series, the Russian mob had come into the Gallows home and had done some stuff. I was sad for the house. There is a house that gets destroyed in this book that I felt was kind of like a character, so it was really sad to see it go. I understand why, to give new beginnings and whatever. And it brought a lot of the characters back from the previous books. There was one that was missing that I was like, okay, they had a really good book, in my opinion, and now they're just like, I'm not part of that anymore. I'm out. I tapped out. I knew that there was going to be something that happened that was very traumatic to the male main character. And that's what led him to become this really powerhouse of a character as the book goes on. And it's leading into a new series where it's all of the children from the series. So I don't know if I want to read it, but we'll see. All right, next book was 5-Star Summer. I thought this was the new Jennifer Gardner movie about 5-Star Weekend. I do not have that book, but I still listened to this. I loved it. It was about this hotel in, oh God, where is it? Is it in the Cotswolds? It's in, I don't remember where it is. It's in the UK. And it has, and it's kind of its own character in the book. And one of the main characters is Abby, and she has jumped into the role as the hotel manager, and she's trying to bring sales up and things like that because something happened to the manager previous to her. So she's trying to be respectful to the way that they ran the hotel and to keep the staff, because the other thing is that it's in a small town, so the staff has known this woman her entire life. So the respect and everything that she is trying to get as a manager, but also being respectful to the tradition and ways that the staff is used to, has been a line that she's been having a hard time figuring out how to just make it her own. So this hotel is part of a chain, and who else? Evie, right? Or wait, hold on, lies, flip that. Evie's the manager, Abby is the lady that comes in to fix the hotel, and she goes under the guise that she's just a liaison for the chain. Come to find out, she is the daughter of the CEO of the chain. But she didn't want the staff to treat her any differently. She didn't want the manager to feel that she was going to step on her toes and tell her what to do. So she jumps in and she's cleaning toilets and she's doing all the things with the staff as needed, rather than, you know, show where she is in the pecking order. And I loved her character for that. There's a little bit of romances between the hotel manager and the chef. I love that. The hotel manager, because she's grown up in the town her whole life, they know everything that she does. So if she goes on a date, if she does anything, everybody knows about it. And then if it doesn't work out, she's responsible for that, basically. And she doesn't want a work relationship to blow up in the small town, because then she can't get away from it, you know, because he's a Michelin star chef. So she doesn't want to lose the chef. And he had come in from London to, you know, to just have a slower work schedule. And it's gotten so bad that the manager is even thinking about leaving the town to manage a hotel in London, where she feels if it's in a major city, not everybody's going to be in her business, and she can just go do her job and then go home and have that separate. I loved it. They become friends. There is a blow up, you know, about Abby. Is it Abby being like the secret agent kind of thing? But the staff rallies for both of them, and then you find out that the CEO because this hotel is her first hotel that she ever owned and flipped around and everything like that. And you find out her story too. So, and there's a love story in that. And there's so much going on, but it's so cozy and it's so lovely. And, you know, Abby is this very uptight, you know, bullet schedule kind of gal, type A, and she lets her hair down and she gets to enjoy things that she never got to because she was the boss's daughter. So I loved it. I absolutely love it. She falls for the pub owners. Well, he owns the pub, but he also rents out rooms on top of the pub. So she is staying in one of the rooms. So I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Like, I think I read it in a day or a day and a half. And I was listening to it. But, like, certain things I had to, like, open up the book to try and figure out what it was. I don't know. Anyway, moving on. And then my two Tangled. This is one of my favorite in the Meant to Be series. Christina Lauren did a fantastic job with this Rapunzel retelling. God, what was her name? Wren is this young woman that is going to college. She had to fight for it. Her parents are homesteaders. They do not believe that you need technology in every aspect of your life. They have made her believe that electricity and things like that are earned. She's able to, you know, watch movies and things like that. But it's within a certain time. She has to earn them. She has to work with the animals and everything like that. So she is homeschooled, and she's basically a genius. And she goes to college and she's a fish out of water because she has no idea how to navigate this big new world that she's in. And God, what was his name? Fitz is the playboy on campus, but he's also the guy that has the best grades, and he is the teacher assistant for one of the, it's not the dean, I don't know, but it's a teacher that Wren respects and has read their book. And she's just a wealth of knowledge, and he's like, oh my God, where did this woman come from? Like, she's gonna get eaten alive. Anyway, she takes a DNA test in her biology test, or her biology class, and finds out that the markers do not match her parents. And she found the address to her dad that is in Atlanta. So she talks her way into Fitz's road trip because he goes to Nashville once a year or something like that. And oh my gosh. And the road trip is hilarious. And she has like $62 to her name, and she's trying to make it work, and he's a bartender, and everybody thinks that he is the heir to a big business millionaire, and come to find out he is the adopted son of that heir, and he has to earn his college degree and everything, like all his money and things like that, he has to earn on his own because of things that had happened previously. And it's an awesome road trip, and oh my God, and the things that they do and the things that he does for her, and Um, Entangled, the movie, there's the, oh my God, the duckling. Is it the snuggly duckling that they end up in? Well, there's something similar to this. It's a biker bar, and instead of singing about their dream, she does like a comedy skit, and because they were pickpocketed. And she's trying to get her stuff back. And they end up getting their stuff back. So it was so cute. The car's name is Max, which is the horse entangled. And then at the end, there's this very real situation that it grabs at your heart, and you know it's fiction, and you know that it's off of freaking a Disney movie, but at the same time you're like, oh my God, this poor woman, when she finds out what actually happened to her and why she loves fireworks and things like that, it just tugs at you. And my favorite thing is towards the end is, as all these things are happening, they get services for Ren to help her transition with all of this new information. And I thought that was just well done and very real world in this retelling. It was just really, I really, really liked it. So far in this series, my favorite book was, gosh, If the Shoe Fits. That was the Cinderella retelling. I love that book. This, I think, might surpass it because it was really well fleshed out. So I went from that, and then I scrambled to get this one in because this has been on my shelf forever. I think I got it for the Happily Ever-a-thon or something like that, way back in the day when Hannah ran it. I think Hannah and Maggie ran it. A lot of friends had said that this was a beautiful book, and it was. This is, I always thought it was Gothel because that's how they say it Entangled, but it's Gotel? Gotel? I think it's Gotel. Or Gohel? I don't remember. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's dual timeline, and this historian finds a woman that has found, it's kind of like a codex from the local healer from this German town. And the story, oh my God, I have been so fascinated with apothecaries and poisoners and just that midwife healer, but are they a witch kind of thing. Like, I love anything that brings that up in a book because there were so many women healers and they were tried as witches if they didn't do their job right. And it is just, her mother, God, what was her name? Heloise. Oh my gosh. Heloise? We'll go with that. I'm going to call her Hallie because I don't know. Obviously I did this as an audiobook. But anyway, it's about her story, and she's in this small town or small village, and her mother is the healer. She's also the midwife, and her mother ends up getting sick, and she tries to become what her mother was to provide for her family. Her dad's a total not cool person. So, and then she's also in love with her childhood friend. And he's a tailor's son. So he's like a station or two above her. And his dad will not let him marry her at all. Absolutely not. You're not marrying that. So, but he has to marry the pregnant player woman that likes to sleep with I think that the guy was married or something. Anyway, so he ends up marrying her, which breaks Hallie's heart. And there was something else that happened. Oh, there's like a fever, some kind of plague is starting to take the village, and her mom had passed away from something that was very, very traumatic. And when you find out what it was, it's just so sad. Anyway, she knows that she has a grandmother in the woods, and they were told not to go into the mist, and she's never had an issue going into the mist, so she can't figure out why she can't. And her dad, when her mom passes, he remarries, so she's basically on her own, and she's like, you know what, I gotta go. I can't stay here. So she goes and finds her grandmother, who lives in the Tower of Gothel. I'm going to say Gothel because that's how I know how to say it. And she learns her ways. And while she's in the tower, she finds somebody that looks identical to her. And she witnesses that person's, who becomes her friend, she witnesses her murder. And it's this, huge scheme about what happens to this woman. And there's like a tie-in of Little Red Riding Hood and Snow White in this book as well. There's just so much going on, and it's just, I don't know. I don't know how to, I'm not doing a good job describing it. But anyway, she, who was the other woman? There was another woman. Anyway, it explains why Rapunzel was Rapunzel. And I found out that Rapunzel is an herb. I did not know until B did this week that Rapunzel is an herb. I had no idea. I just thought it was a name. I had no idea. Now I want to find it and figure out what I could put it in, because I don't think it's a poison. Anyway, I don't want to say any more. One, because I'm not doing it justice, and two, the twists and turns in it, because there's science and magic, especially with the dual timelines, and you just have to go on the journey yourself. Like, it's beautifully done. There's a lot going on, and it kind of blew my mind. Like, I sat with this book for a few days. So I thought it was very, very well done. So anyway, I totally killed that. Sorry. But if you want to read it, I highly recommend it. But if you do not like witch hunts or, God, just anything medieval and what happened to women healers during those times, it might not be a book for you. But I loved it. I absolutely loved it. So I'm glad that I finally got to it. So those were the books. That was my week. And we are going into Little Mermaid week. And yeah, hope you're having a great day and a great week. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.